So, as we know, on May 21st, Microsoft unveiled their new console, the Xbox One. Some people were kind of angry, some people were in between. I think Brandon supported it all the way. Am I correct?
Yep, I supported all of the changes that they said they were making between the system preferences from the Xbox 360 to the Xbox One. Even the idea about the problems with sharing games, and even the ideas that they had with being online most of the time. Their reasoning behind it, their rationales made complete sense to me, and I was backing them 100%. However, I can't understand the recent changes they announced they have made to the way the Xbox One works, as such to mainly pertaining to no longer having the restrictions on borrowing games, and instead changing it back to the old way of I can just give somebody my disc.
Yeah, but do you want to talk about what they just changed?
Why don't you lead?
Alright, so, crap, was it? 2 days ago, Microsoft announced that they pretty much changed their policy or their DRM policy on the Xbox One. So it no longer has to check in every 24 hours. So basically, you just have to be connected the first time you set up your Xbox One so it can install the update which makes that change. And some people, I was angry at first because it got rid of some of the cool features, like not having to have the disc in when you play. You just put it in once, install it, and then the Xbox would make sure it's your copy by just being online. It'd check it every 24 hours, make sure you're not copying the disc. But now that they got rid of that, now the disc has to be in, even if you install it, just so it can do a check to make sure, alright, this is actually a game that you bought. You didn't copy this disc. So it's kind of cool, and now you can't share digital games. Before, you could share digital games with up to 10 people, but only for an hour. And but now they allow you to share physical discs, buy used games, pretty much how they do it right now on the Xbox 360. I'm not positive if you still have to install the disc, so you might have to still install it. But once again, the disc still has to be in the tray for you to play it.
Yep.
What are your opinions?
Which, personally, on my own accord, while I'm happier that it's back to the old system in the sense that it's easier to work, I was looking forward to the new changes they're making. Being online all the time would cut down on different modding and hacking and all that sort of thing, protect the account more, which I can understand with a few other minor changes that they've made to it, making that more preferable. However, bringing it back to the old system will make it easier to adapt to, and in a sense, operate on its own scale. But I would have still been happy had they kept the changes that they were going to make to it in the first place.
Yeah, but I don't know. Some people are angry that Microsoft just isn't making up their mind. Like, where do they want to go? Do they want to go forward, or do they want to follow in Sony's footsteps and just make an upgraded current-gen console, which is what I see PS4 and now Xbox One as just an Xbox 360 and a PS3 with better-looking games. However, Xbox One and PS4 still have a few things.
Yep.
Xbox One, you can now you can pin things together. So, for example, I could be searching for a game in Forza Motorsport 5, and while it's searching for a match, I can go play Minecraft or any other game I have, and then it'll alert me when it's found a match, so I could go play. And you could pin things side by side, so if you want to, I don't know, play FIFA while you look at the scores for an actual match going on. So it still has some features, but I want them to make that push towards all digital. But they said they're gonna try to slowly implement things. So maybe there'll be more digital stuff. Well, they already have day one digital on Xbox One now. They still kept that, but hopefully they just slowly implement what they had before, like the always online thing, just so people don't. Because the thing why I think people got really mad. You could stop me if I'm wrong. Is because it was just a sudden change. It's not like gradual. Like it's like, oh, we're slowly gonna have you always connected by bringing features that want you to connect. Now it's just like they just told you, all right, it has to be online every 24 hours. So you can't play games.
I get the sense that people didn't fully understand why, and that people didn't fully understand what it meant. When it first came out, I was only hearing people complain about it, rather than actually complaining about why you'd have to be always online. Like, what was the punishment for not be? No one would actually tell, like, no one was actually really informed on it. They were kind of just afraid of the new system, I believe, in the sense that no one really knew what it was, why they were doing it, and then they also didn't know what the full punishment was. The sense is, even if you weren't connected for a time period, I didn't believe that Microsoft actually said you weren't going to be able to connect ever again. There was no penalty, really. I mean, other than a big update. It was just saying that you would have to, like, remain connected so that they could scan your console for no hacks or mods or added to games.
Yeah.
Many people were scared of that in the sense that they didn't really know what its true purpose
Connect is
intended.
always watching. Connect is always listening. Hide your
Yep.
kids.
Yep,
The
the government's
NSA.
fault. I always hate that in the sense that
But
two
it's
things
like the Connect has to be plugged in. You could go put it in a box. You could put a sticky note over the camera. You could block the microphone. It doesn't have to listen or watch. And you could pause it, pause all its features. It just has to be plugged in, just so
Yeah.
game developers they can put Connect features, knowing that everyone has a Connect.
Yeah, the whole point about it is you don't even have to set up your Connect. Even if you did, this problem's going to be solved by two things. One, muting the speakers, and two, throwing a towel over the damn thing. It's not that bad. You don't even have to set it up. You could throw it in a box in the corner with a wire attached to it.
Yeah, but overall,
However,
I already pre-ordered the Xbox One. So, and I love the direction Microsoft's taking. They want to go forward. That's what I'm understanding from them.
yep, Microsoft wanted to make the change, but they realized that they were pushing it too far, and perhaps there would be an easier way to do it for them. So they backed out this one time. I'm not too surprised in the sense that there was a lot of hate coming their way. But in the sense that I believe Microsoft's going to be the one to first push forward. Before Sony.
Yeah.
It's just comes down to who wants to take the hate. They're going to have to. Someone is. But after that, it's just going to be gold roads.
But there is like a rumor going around. Well, it's the curse of the third console. Every third console from a company has gone downward. PS3, Nintendo 64, now Xbox One.
I like the Nintendo 64.
Well, people like the PS3 too, and we're just saying like sale-wise, like it didn't do what it expected to be, basically.
That's true. But if I
So
remember
if Microsoft
correctly,
can turn this around, then let's see, we're gonna have to see. Like right now, as of June 21st, 2013, the sales are really close. Right now on Amazon, that's the only market I know right now. Xbox One is beating PS4 sales due to this reversal. So right now the sales are very close. So it's not like one's drastically beating the other. They're both on par.
which makes me think that Microsoft's going to do fine. The Xbox One looks like a really great competing next-gen console that's going to possibly blow all of the others out of the water with new implications, as well as a great starting lineup of console-only games. Microsoft and the Xbox franchise hasn't had a lot of these, but the Xbox One is putting forth a whole new line of Xbox-only games, accompanied by the original Grandmaster of Xbox-only games, Halo. Coming out with the new title, Halo 5, which was revealed.
Well, actually, we don't know the title yet.
Well, true that. But until further speculation,
It's
I'm going to call it Halo.
assumed to be Halo 5. No, all we know about it so far is that he's purposely trying to mask his appearance. That's why he's wearing that robe. And there are some theories that he's on the Ark, and because he has half of the Janus key, and maybe the other half brings him to Halsey's half, and he doesn't want to work at the UNSC because he needs to work with Halsey, who wants revenge on the UNSC, and he wants to work with her because he wants Cortana to be fixed.
Yep, which is the plot of Halo 4's campaign as well as the Spartan Ops.
Alright, so on to our next topic. Brandon?
Well, yeah, you heard me mention Halo 5, or, well, whatever its title may be when it was finally officially revealed. But the trailer we saw of Master Chief and the Cloak. Speaking of cloaks and these awesome games that have been started by Bungie, we have the next Bungie game, the next epic in their legacy, Destiny.
Now we should give where do we begin with that game?
Well, Destiny has been revealing slowly trailers over the time. Until recently, we've been bombarded with information about Destiny. It's kind of hard to sift through all of it, but there's one underlying factor at it all. It all looks amazing.
It has
Destiny is the next epic game of its time.
it has like that Halo Reach feel to it, just like the look.
Not only that, but Destiny employs so many new factors, allowing people to join your game and play along your side and help you defeat amazing enemies, as we've seen in the trailer.
I think
My personal favorite revealed trailer, Law of the Jungle.
like that game is all social. Like you could travel throughout the entire solar system. And just like in your home city, you go to the tower where your hangar is, so you can just like meet up with your friends, show off your ships, your armor, your loot. Oh,
Yep, Destiny is going to be an epic game in the sense that it interacts between players. It allows for interaction between friends in a game in a whole new way, brought to us by Bungie. The reason I say that my favorite trailer personally is Law of the Jungle is not because it reveals much information, but it really gives a feel about what the underlying thing of the game is going to be, in my opinion. The fact that it's true. Those who will keep peace may prosper, but those who do not must die. The whole point is that trailer for me sets the underlying tone and gives us a great look at the basic systems of characters I believe they have set up for us.
yeah, and Bungie's just known for making amazing games with an amazing story. Like, look at Halo. They just spawned an entire lore with Halo 1, Halo Combat Evolved. And it wasn't even originally supposed to be for Xbox. It was a Mac game. So, if it weren't for Microsoft buying Bungie Studios and putting it on Xbox, Bungie wouldn't be where it is today, and it wouldn't be making Destiny.
Yep. If Microsoft ever made one incredibly intelligent move, it was definitely buying Bungie and putting Halo on console for Xbox only. One of their smartest moves they've ever made, and one of the biggest helps for Xbox franchise. Now, Bungie is going to give us this amazing game. It's going to give us some amazing things, a freedom aspect, an entire solar system to explore, and great new types of things we can do. With three basic, I believe, if I remember correctly, three basic character models, each one having their own unique thing they can do, and each one will be able to help. You and your friends will conquer the galaxy. We'll explore the solar system in the best way possible you see fit.
And we didn't mention this for Halo either, but Halo and Destiny both release in 2014.
Yep, which means they have a whole lot of time left to finish off this game, reveal to us more information to make our mouths water even more in anticipation for these two future epics. Destiny is going to be incredible, and it's wonderful to see Bungie creating the next legacy that they will produce.
Alright, so let's move to our next topic, and that is Project Spark.
Yep.
And that game, I just showed it to Brandon. So what are your thoughts on that game?
I gotta say, if there's one thing that I'm just really impressed about, it's the level of customization that you're going to be able to use in this.
Like, you make games on this game.
Yep. The terraforming aspect, the ability to use, the ability to basically create entire areas, an entire storyline for both you and your friends to enjoy. The ability to remake old classical games. It's going to be incredible. Something that hasn't been seen or done in a while, and I'm personally in such anticipation. If I remember correctly, Nate, I believe you told me that it is also free for everybody on Xbox One.
Yeah, and I think I just noticed this when I rewatched the trailer. I think it's coming to Windows 8 as well.
Yep. They did mention that people on Windows 8 will be able to do this. So I'm wondering if it's going to be a Microsoft exclusive game, which is going to be sheerly amazing. At the sense that this game is going to bring a whole new level to everything. It's going to be perfect. It's going to show. It shows you what they trust us with. It's going to give the gamers and the communities a new chance
Yeah, I
at making
definitely
their
think it will.
creations come to life. Who knows? It may inspire the next great saga of gaming.
And just knowing that it's free to play is just amazing.
Yep, this game. It only showed. And the such simplistic things they showed off in the beginning of the trailer with their customization. I mean, the pet rock and the simplistic, the few enemies they showed us, and those were all simplistic details they showed us. The amount of creativity you can actually have with this game is incredible, and I expect to see great things from the community as a whole coming out of this project. The ability to take your friends' ideas, different things they've created, and advance them and update it, and each person putting their own new spin on it, just increasing and increasing its playability, its replay value, any kind of creation's ability to just become better as a whole.
And oh my god, I can't wait for the next generation. Just
Yep, next generation consoles, next
like
generation games,
this just shows
especially
that
games like
next
Project
generation, a
Spark
new
and
generation of
Destiny.
games isn't just about graphics. It's like
Nope, these next generation of games are bringing us a whole new level of gameplay, a whole new level of possibilities, as shown with games that we're going to be talking about, as shown with games that we've already talked about. Personally, any of the games we're
like
saying
speaking
are
of
worth
sandbox
looking
games like
into,
Project
and they're
Spark,
incredible.
Minecraft Xbox One edition is gonna be coming out this year, which I'm definitely gonna be purchasing. And yes, you
Yep,
have to purchase it even if you've purchased it on
I believe
360,
the
just to let everyone
compatibility,
know. Because it's a new game.
which isn't
That's
bad,
what
but at the
people need
same
to
time, you have to
realize.
imagine, yep,
4J and Mojang need to make
it's a
money.
new game. It might be bad. Yep, it's a whole new thing. The company that makes it is going to be making more money, meaning they can produce even more for it. Plus, if I remember correctly, it's going to be linked with the computer
It
version.
might
If you're
be. It might be.
might be, even if it isn't, it's still going to be incredible. And if it is, just imagine being able to talk to your friends on PC while playing your Xbox One on a game that is it's so simplistic yet it's so amazing.
And Xbox 360, the Minecraft Xbox 360 edition is still going to be getting updates while the Xbox One edition gets updates. So even if you don't get Xbox One edition, you can go play it on your 360 and still be up to date.
Yep. Which is why I'm telling everyone not to, if you can, sell your 360 or sell all of them. Keep at least one, just so you can keep those classic games you can play on there. Honestly, it's not a bad system just because it's outdated. It's just that now there's something out there that's better, but that doesn't mean it loses its play value. There's a lot of great games on the 360, and I employ people not to completely forget about it. But I also employ people to upgrade to the next-gen consoles of gaming, especially Xbox One, which is going to revolutionize the gaming industry.
And you could pre-order it now for $499 in the United States.
Which does seem like a lot, but think of what you're getting.
You're getting a bundle of value. It
Yep.
does not come with a microphone like the 360 did, so you're gonna have to buy that separately. But our next topic is about a game that isn't an Xbox exclusive, but it's very well known in the Xbox community for all its, I guess, early features, and that is Call of Duty Ghosts. Okay, so Call of Duty Ghosts, I was not expecting that. I was expecting like a Modern Warfare 4.
Yep.
Because just my Call of Duty has not been a great game to me in a while. Last Call of Duty I've really enjoyed was Call of Duty World at War.
Yeah.
I feel like it's all gone repetitive now, but I haven't seen multiplayer yet, but from what I can see, I feel like they're actually trying to do something that moves them forward as a company. I don't know, I feel like they're learning from their community.
Yep. Call of Duty Ghosts to me looks really interesting. The fact that Call of Duty is upgrading their engine for the first time in a long time to make next-gen games possible for Call of Duty is making me really happy. I've been very disappointed with the last few Call of Duties Infinity War and made. Modern Warfare 2 wasn't bad and was my personal, it was probably my first entrance into the Call of Duty franchise. but Modern Warfare 3 was a big disappointment to me. Call of Duty Black Ops, I've only really enjoyed when talking about the zombies. The multiplayer isn't bad, but it isn't my favorite. However, with this new Call of Duty Ghost, it actually looks like they've spent great amount of time updating their engine, updating their graphics, and pretty much updating everything, including gameplay. The very story of it even seems gripping. The fact that they're trying to focus and make this story more character-driven and more emotionally attaching tries to make the player feel more in-depth and connected to the story is going to be great for the Call of Duty franchise. It's going to make this story really good. I'm very pleased to see the steps that Call of Duty is taking and Infinity Ward is taking personally towards the advancement of the Call of Duty series, as well as the making of this game. The very difference, starting off with the first reveal of the game, especially the comparisons made between MW3 and Call of Duty Ghosts. The differences made between the jungle setting, the dog or canine unit differences, and the differences between the character models of Captain Price and the unnamed and the character that they showed off in the reveal.
Yeah, because even Black Ops 2 felt like they used, like, it looked a lot like Modern Warfare 3.
The differences in the engine is going to be incredible. They haven't updated their engine in a very, very long time, so the fact that Call of Duty is upgrading now is going to be a huge thing for them. I'm really happy in the sense that I've been kind of disappointed with Call of Duties recently, but I think this one's going to take the cake. I actually think that this Call of Duty, in my personal, I may be a bit critical on Call of Duty because I may be a bit prejudiced on it, but in the past I haven't been too impressed by it. But this Call of Duty is impressing me from everything I've heard about it. This new Call of Duty actually looks like a step forward for the franchise and for the makers. There's not much more I can say on the matter other than I'm quite impressed and I'm waiting to see more about Call of Duty Ghosts, which it does look, compared to the gameplay, the new story, new characters. I'm quite interested to see where this goes, and I'm really interested to see the end result.
I feel like Activision's investing a lot of money. Like, Destiny looks amazing, and so does Call of Duty.
Yep, Destiny and Call of Duty Ghosts are going to be two huge and two huge profiteers for Activision. I'm also very happy about the new story input for Call of Duty. And like I said, not much more I can say other than keep your eye on Call of Duty Ghosts. It's going to be a good one.
And here's a game the next game that I want to talk about is something that isn't a next-gen game, but it's a game I want to talk about. Because there's not really much info, so I just want to do a brief thing. I feel like Grand Theft Auto 5 is going to be an amazing game to end this generation, and I feel like that's going to keep me coming back to 360 every once in a while.
I can hear you on that, but like I said, I personally am not a huge Grand Theft Auto fan. I have played 3 games in the series, including San Andreas, and I'm not a huge fan of it. I understand it's a free roam game, and the very basis of what it underlines is a credible idea. But personally, for me, I've never been a huge fan of the series. However, Grand Theft Auto 5 does seem like a very interesting game, especially a very good one. And I do feel bad at the fact that it's going to be overshadowed, not entirely, but it is going to face some big competition with next-gen gaming coming up. But that's, again, why I also imply people not to throw out the 360s, not to sell them if we can help it, but imply them to keep it, because the 360 gave us great games that are still around. We still have the ability to play them. And I implore you to still enjoy these games, as well as keep the console for these end games like Grand Theft Auto 5 and others that may be coming out just in the last stretch of the 360's time. And the PS3's time.
Yeah, because right now, The Last of Us, which is an amazing PS3 game, I got a chance to play it at my friend's house, and Grand Theft Auto 5, I feel like those current-gen games actually have a great chance of being Game of the Year.
Yeah, The Last of Us on PS3, I've seen gameplay footage of, and I've heard many different, especially the person that made this talked about. I have heard good things about it, and from the look of it, it seems to be a great game. a zombie survival game that seems to set the mark for others to come.
Yeah. And our next topic is a game developed by a very hard-working studio that's actually working on 3 games currently, and these games are amazing games. The main one we're going to talk about is a very team-working game that I've been playing for a very long time that just never gets boring to me, and that is the Battlefield franchise, specifically Battlefield 4. So, Battlefield 4, it is an amazing game. All the errors, all the things I disliked about Battlefield 3, from what I can see, is just, they just made extreme. Like, destruction is back and at a very destructive level, no pun intended.
The skill with which they're taking destruction in Battlefield 4 is sheerly impressive.
A whole skyscraper collapsing.
Entire cityways and streets collapsing into underground subway tunnels, taking destruction to a new whole level, in major and minor.
They call it Levolution. Like, the thing about close quarters map pack in Battlefield 3, it had HD destruction. Like, every little thing could be chipped off. But in Battlefield 3, like, in the other, just non-close quarters, when you went into a building, you couldn't really chip things off. It was only major. But now, when they went into the skyscraper in this, the whole skyscraper can collapse, which is major destruction. But little things can chip off, which is HD. So it just shows the capabilities of next-gen consoles and PC.
Yep. The sheer power that's going to be put behind this game. When it starts out in the trailer, you can see the entire massive onslaught of a team of 32v32, including one person each team, introducing the Commander Mode function. Commander Mode is going to be incredible. Having a person that can literally send in missile strikes based on points collected by the team, drop off tanks and vehicles and supports to take out whole squads, buildings, and or enemy armor emplacements, as well as giving you yourself armor. Both teams will have one commander, meaning the actual ground battle will be 31v31, making a total out of 64 people playing in a game, which is an incredible feat for a console gaming.
And this is something that was in Battlefield 2. So I'm happy to see that brought back. But I hope people know that it's not actually a player in the game. It's not one of the 32 versus 32 people. It's like a 33rd person on each team that does this. So they're not actually on the battlefield. They're like pretty much the reconnaissance from far away helping. But you're still like in the chat. You're in the battle.
Oh.
But from a different perspective, you're assisting.
Well, then I guess you can say instead that there's still 32v32 on the ground. I was not informed. I did not really know this, which is even better news for me, because now I know that you're going to have the full 32v32, as well as also having an extra person to give relay to your team. This extra person can play, I believe, on console helping you, or on mobile tablet devices, or any touchscreen devices, I believe.
Yep. I'm not sure if it will use Xbox Smart Glass or the PlayStation app, and then maybe the PC will use the Battlelog app, or they'll all use the Battlelog app or something.
Yep. But the sheer fact that they're bringing back Commander, they're using these massive scale battles on console, and they're introducing such a new level of destruction, destructible skyscrapers on the large and small scale, more integrative teamwork, larger squads. Everything looks incredible.
I know, I gotta hand it to DICE. And the fact that they're working on 3 games, that's just...
Yep. The fact that they're able to do all of this while working on 3 games may worry you that they're working on 3 games and trying to put something out like this, but at the same time, you gotta think, if the company can do it, it'd be DICE.
I know, they're working on right now Mirror's Edge 2, which is an origin story to Faith, and then a reboot of the Battlefront franchise that, since EA made a deal with Disney to make the main Star Wars games.
Which, if you can think about it, Battlefront, who better to do it? You remember the classic combat and greatness. Even if you're not a huge Star Wars buff fan, Battlefront was a great game back in the day, only because its gameplay was so perfect. The idea of galactic conquest on Battlefront 2 was a whole new thing for it, and was incredible. Having a reboot made by DICE, the company that made Battlefield, and its conquest game mode is no better. There is no better company for the job, which is why I'm glad that DICE has been given the honor of working on this. But back to the main thing at hand, Battlefield 4 is going to be incredible. Now, I've heard some recent things about how in Battlefield 4, the Recon class has now been given the ability to use C4, which is a huge thing for me because it now means that the Recon class is no longer a luxury class in the game. It is now actually a usable class for sneaking into enemy lines, planting C4 under boats, which you can now swim and actually equip your items, planting it inside enemy strongholds, or even just blowing out the floor or level of a skyscraper or street, meaning it's just a whole new level to what this class can do.
I know. Just Battlefield or DICE has listened to all our feedback, which is
It's incredible. They've increased the amount
I'm very
of
happy about.
They've increased the amount of water warfare. They've increased the destructive capabilities, giving us multi-layered, huge maps, and made everything in the minor and the major destructible, making Battlefield 4 looking like it's going to be the next greatest war game of first-person shooters.
And the thing that makes me very happy, this is the map they showed, Siege of Shanghai, is in a city. So imagine maps, if they have maps on a mountain where avalanches can occur, or in forests where trees can fall down, like very huge trees.
It only is a glimpse of what could be
Or where player actions can cause a forest fire, which pretty much closes off a section of the map.
which is interesting. I'm almost positive that Battlefield 4 is going to be one of the next greatest shooters, and it's going to be an incredible feat. The amount of destruction and DICE's abilities to make this, as well as 2 other games, I'm very happy and I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of the community on the battlefield.
I support DICE all the way, and I've already pre-ordered Battlefield 4.
Yep.
So, on to our next topic, which is from published by a studio that actually showed off a lot of amazing games. The studio being Ubisoft, and the game being Watch Dogs. So, Watch Dogs is created by Ubisoft Montreal, and it uses a lot of familiar things from Assassin's Creed, such as some animations and climbing, but it's an entirely new game. It's modern, if that. It could be futuristic, possibly. I don't know the year exactly. It takes place in Chicago, Illinois, and you're Aiden Pierce, who is a professional hacker, who, as you can see from the trailers, he wants revenge, and it's just amazing. It reminds me of Grand Theft Auto in terms of driving, open worldness, except you can hack now.
Yeah. This game, Watch Dogs, appears to take the stealth and strategy aspect to a new level, while giving you a character with the ability to openly hack into almost any electronic device he wishes, pull up complete record histories and background profiles on people, and sheerly control electronic devices just by the press of a button, enters in a whole new aspect world. I mean, if you think about it, in the trailer it shows the main character using his hacking device to listen in on police radios and different information to try and go and help his friend. Once he finds his friend, he's able to hack into it, to use the computer to activate other devices that he can see on cameras to then distract police and allow his friend to escape. He can act into pretty much anything to distract people so that you can stealthily and tactically help your teammate out of a situation and even take down your enemies. From what I've seen in the trailer, killing is not a big part in this game, for it seems that he only knocks out and incapacitates any enemy he comes up to, which is a huge thing because it would add an aspect of challenge to the game. If you think about it, this game looks incredible. You can hack into pretty much any electronic device, as well as use your own device to call in for outside help. People working on a tablet that can come into a game and help you out by hacking into police copters remotely, by hacking and bringing up guard fences to take out cop cars, and then have your own character causing citywide blackouts to help you escape. making this game look incredible. In the amount of things you possibly can do, possibly could do, and in the possibilities of hacking and gameplay experience.
And Ubisoft is really embracing the next generation. They're doing a lot of always connected things. Like The Crew is like an MMO racing game. The Division, which we'll get to soon, is like I don't want to say open. Well, actually, it said open world, so yeah, open world. And then Watch Dogs, people can join on a tablet and help you. And Watch Dogs was even shown off last year before the next generation consoles were shown off. So people were just confused, like if this is next generation, or is this pushing the limits of Xbox and 360 and PS3, or is this a exclusive PC game? But as we know now, is a next generation game.
Yep, we know now that even the limits of the current generation console probably can't handle Watch Dogs, in the sense that Watch Dogs has now been said to go past them and to go into the next gen.
I think it's still on 360 and PS3 though.
Is it? If it
Yeah.
is, good to anyone who can't get the next console right ahead, but I implore you to wait, get the next gen console instead, and
Now-
wait for this game.
And that's for Battlefield 4 too. I would not get on current generation consoles. You would not get the full experience.
You really wouldn't. Games like Watch Dogs and Battlefield 4, if they're on the current-gen consoles, just wouldn't be the same as what you've seen, and you wouldn't get the full impact of what you could. The problem with, there is no real problem I can see so far. I'm waiting to see the gameplay experience looks incredible, the story looks in-depth, and the sheer ability to have the open world aspect of Assassin's Creed brought into the modern day in a whole new aspect, in which you have the ultimate hacker in a modern day city, shows incredible possibilities, which gives me high hopes for Watch Dogs and for Ubisoft, which has not let me down. I'm a huge Assassin's Creed fan, and this game looks very based off, but at the same time looks to be a whole new thing of its own, which is giving me high hopes, and I know that if there's a company that can do it, it would be Ubisoft. They have not let me down yet, and I don't think they will anytime soon.
I couldn't agree anymore. They never let me down. All their games are good. I've played all the Tom Clancy games. I've played all the Assassin's Creed games, and
Yep.
I'm excited for Watch Dogs.
But
So-
speaking of Tom Clancy, the next game I'd like to talk about with you guys is The Division, the next Tom Clancy game by Ubisoft Montreal. By Ubisoft. I'm not sure which studio.
Okay, so The Division is the next Tom Clancy game, and I don't think they've actually. This is the first the first Division game, I guess. It's a new sub-series of Tom Clancy's. Am I correct?
I believe so. I haven't known about Division for very long. I just recently started looking into it because somebody told me about it, and and I've only seen a little bit of footage about it. But from what I've seen, this game is really awesome. The ability to constantly be online in this game and constantly interact with in a squad of your friends, with yourself and by yourself, but I recommend being with a squad of people that you trust, and as well as interacting with other squads of people, doing head-to-head battles constantly, trying to scour the city and upgrade your equipment. It's just sheerly interesting, as well as the aspect of this game could be used for.
Yeah, it's another open world game, and it's about it's like if currency spread diseases, because it talked about how influenza virus can travel on dollar bills, and it can live up on them for up to 14 days, and a lot of currency is spread around, especially on Black Friday. So it's if disease began to spread everywhere, and yeah, so it's kind of apocalyptic, but I don't think it's zombies. I think it's just people are dying. And
Yeah.
trying to survive.
It's more
So
like a breakdown of society, as far as I can see. As far as from what I've seen about it, it's it's a story about what happens to society after it begins to break down from an epidemic or from a huge disastrous event. It seems to me that this story relies at the heart of society breaking down, and then groups of people trying to come together to survive the only way they can. But unfortunately for humanity, that usually ends up with blood and steel. Which is why this game looks incredible to me. You use teamwork as well as interaction, like I've seen before, like I've said before in other games, involving people that can jump in on their tablet and mobile devices and help you out by coming in as a drone, spotting people, giving you a bird's eye view of the map, and as well as even communicating with you through the vocal uses of a mic.
Yeah, like Ubisoft is very. I think I've already stated that they're embracing connection, not just playing with like a second screen. They're using tablets a lot, and not just you have to be on to play with your friend. But if you're up, not where your Xbox is, or your PS4 or your PC, you could just go on your tablet while you're watching TV and help your friend out.
Yep. It is really interesting to see that I'm very happy about Ubisoft and how they're doing this. We're just really embracing the idea of connecting all forms of gaming together, which is why I'm loving this game, The Division, because it seems to be it gives you Manhattan, one of the most well-known cities in America, giving you parts of Manhattan and I believe even part of New Jersey, if I'm correct, giving you these areas in a free roam, not apocalyptic, but disastrous time era and disastrous scenario, a broken down city, but it's giving you the chance to survive, to play interactively in your own group and your own group versus other groups of players constantly, which opens up a whole new array of what's possible with this game.
I'm very excited for it. I forgot to check the release date on that, so I'm not sure.
I'm not sure about the release date of it, but regardless of what it is, I'm looking forward to it. Keep your eye on any new news about it, and make sure you save enough money for it.
And
this game is definitely one you should have on your shelves.
Yeah, I'm eventually going to purchase it. And I pre-ordered Watch Dogs, so I hope to play that soon, right when I get my Xbox One.
Worked by Ubisoft, and I can't be happy.
The next game we'd like to speak about is a game published by Electronic Arts, but it's not just a game for all platforms. It's for PC and Xbox One only. It is Titanfall. It is the team behind it, Respawn Entertainment, is led by post Infinity Ward members. They used to work at Infinity Ward, but they left to work on this game, which is probably, go back to our Call of Duty thing, is probably they thought it was too repetitive.
Yep. Titanfall looks to be an incredible game. I've seen gameplay of it, and I've seen what they've been telling me about it. Titanfall seems to be taking the aspect of a first-person shooter to a whole new level by not only allowing you to the aspects of being a singular person, but giving you incredible free-running momentum using a booster pack type of equipment in order to jump from place to place, run across the sides of walls and billboards, but also giving you an incredible first-person shooter aspect from the regular aspects of the genre, but giving you a whole new feeling with giving you drop-down mechs and suits to use, which the feel of the suit and the different weapon capabilities you can have, the ability to reflect different enemy fire back at them, the ability to fire missiles and bullets from these huge deathing war machines, to take them out by hand by climbing on their backs, ripping open their back port, and blowing out the gear system with your own gun. Surely this game is going to be incredible.
I know. It has like that fast-paced feeling of Call of Duty, mixed with, I feel like it's going to be more teamworking, more teamwork is going to be involved. I really like the idea of a mech dropping down the Titan.
Yep.
And then being able to get into it and just like really easily get into it, and then just play still first person, just like a larger soldier.
Yep.
It's cool when you get in Titan-on-Titan battles, and you can even fight people on the ground, which you just annihilate. But the people on the ground still have a chance of taking out the Titans, which is still pretty cool.
Yep. That's why I'm saying it adds in a whole new aspect. And from what I've seen, they're doing it pretty well from what I've heard and from what I've seen. It's a very difficult thing to do, adding in a game where you can basically keep the balance between having one thing completely dominate over another, but by balancing that out, by balancing the mech play out with as well balancing out the average player play style, by giving them weapons to destroy the mechs, such as a rapid semi-auto grenade and or rocket launcher, giving them the ability to climb in the mech's mech and destroy them just like in Halo 4. But having these mechs be massive, having them have this firepower, they're keeping this game. What it appears to me is they're adding a whole new aspect to multiplayer by making the mechs such a large part. The Titans seem to be incredible. It's going to be a fun game as it looks, and personally, I'm just waiting for for the Titanfall. It looks great. It looks like it's going to be a next huge competitor, and I hope to see it do really well. And I'm hoping to see more of it later on.
Yeah, EA had some really good games around this time around. Actually, every publisher seems to have a lot of games. Even Microsoft Studios, Sony, EA, Activision, Ubisoft. Like all their games are good.
Yep, all of the big publishers are coming out with games that are going to.
Thank you for watching our E3 recap video, and I hope you enjoyed what you heard. And these are just our opinions on the select games that were shown off at E3. There were many that were shown off, and these are just our opinions. You can leave your opinions in the comments. If you disagree, agree with us, whatever. And if you actually liked what you saw, then please like it. It helps us out with feedback. And even if you didn't like it, if there's something wrong, then dislike it. Because, like I said, feedback is important. It helps us determine what to do in the future. And if it was a really good video to you, then add it to your favorites. But if you like what we're doing and want to see more, then please subscribe. And until next time, see ya.